Muscle fatigue is a decline in the ability of a muscle to exert force to perform work. It can be associated with a state of exhaustion. Muscle fatigue occurs due to strenuous activities or exercise. When fatigue sets in, a person may find it difficult to get that specific muscle to continue moving. This is due to a reduction in force generation that causes muscle movement. Muscle fatigue happens to almost everyone and, in most cases, doesn't lead to serious complications. However, some people may find it difficult to recover from muscle fatigue and require medical attention. The exact cause of muscle fatigue is unknown, but there are a few hypotheses. Some physiology experts suggest that muscle fatigue can be caused by a sudden loss in signals from the nervous system to the muscle tissue. The skeletal muscles require nerve impulses to perform any activity. Without a nerve impulse, they will not contract. When there's an error in the impulse-generating pathway, muscle movement will not occur. When an impulse is generated, sodium travels inside the nerve cells, and potassium rushes out. When preparing for the next impulse, the ion balance must be reset. That is, sodium must travel back outside and potassium inside. However, prolonged periods of movement result in some of these ions moving out of the way. When the ions are misplaced, there's less potassium and sodium for the next impulse. This gradually leads to the loss of enough ions for the muscles to receive signals for the next movement. Another theory that could explain muscle fatigue is the buildup of waste products. For example, lactic acid and inorganic phosphate have always been thought to be a cause of fatigue. They build up both outside and inside muscle cells after continuous physical activity. Both these compounds hinder the release of calcium in the muscle cells. Without calcium, muscle contraction becomes difficult. There are several other factors that can contribute to muscle fatigue. Some of them include age, anxiety, dehydration, sleep deprivation, mineral deficiencies such as potassium, magnesium, and calcium, certain medications, and lack of exercise. Certain health conditions also contribute to muscle fatigue. Chronic fatigue syndrome is a complicated disorder that renders a person extremely tired for prolonged periods, at least 6 months. An underactive thyroid gland or hypothyroidism is a condition caused due to a decrease in thyroid hormone production. Fatigue is nearly a universal symptom of hypothyroidism. According to many studies, 50 to 70% of people with chronic hepatitis C experience fatigue. A person's genetic makeup, to an extent, also contributes to muscle fatigue. In some people, fatigue onset can occur earlier than others. The IL-6 gene contains instructions for the production of interleukin-6, a cytokine. Cytokines are signaling molecules that aid cell-to-cell communication in immune activity. They are involved in inflammatory responses. IL-6 has been shown to influence creatine kinase levels following eccentric exercise. Creatine kinase is an enzyme involved in muscle soreness, fatigue, and damage. People with certain types of the IL-6 gene have higher levels of cytokines and creatine kinase and are more prone to early onset of muscle fatigue. Other genes like AMPD1 and IL-6R also play a role in muscle fatigue. A simple genetic test can help you assess your muscle fatigue onset. Most ancestry tests provide your DNA information in the form of a text file called the raw DNA data. This data may seem like Greek and Latin to you. We, at Xcode Life, can help you interpret this data. All you have to do is upload your raw data and order a gene fitness report. Xcode Life then analyzes your raw data in detail to provide you with comprehensive fitness analysis, including information on the muscle fatigue genes.